thought a long time when Lisa asked me to speak to you, because it's really an honor to speak to a group of women. A lot of times I have to, not a lot of times, but when I've been asked to speak, I usually have to speak to a mixed group of people and sometimes my business associates. And so to speak to women, I'm sort of known because I have a really good sense of humor. But I want to take this opportunity to not only hopefully make you laugh, but also to give you some insight. Once I admitted to myself that I really don't know anything, I kind of felt better. Because it's hard to try to be a person who just knows everything. Because she told you about all those accolades and all that was great. And I had to fight my way from day one. I'm not sorry about that, because somehow when you fight your way, you can be proud of yourself that you did it. But sometimes at the end of the day, you think, my Lord, that was hard. That was harder than anybody even knows how hard it was. There's people in this room that know me that know it was hard. I did come here as a teenager, didn't know anybody, and back in the 60s, people didn't talk a lot. There's a lot of women that got to go to college, got to do a lot of things, but in my case, I don't remember anyone saying, well, what college are you going to? Because they didn't really say that to me. Although I was an only child, my mom and dad were great people and nice people, but we just really didn't talk about that. So the next thing you knew, I was 18 years old, married, and had 2 children. I had no idea what in the world I was doing with those 2 children. All I knew is I just loved them to pieces, and I thought I was just playing house, and that's what I was doing. And I had to go get a job because we didn't have very much money, so it wasn't this husband, it was a different husband. I'll tell you about him in a minute. But, so I got this fabulous job at the Carolina Telephone Company. No offense, Kitty Joe Fitch, who works at the telephone company. But they didn't pay much. I believe it's $56.50 a week. And so, you know, we struggled along, and we did okay. But then I had the huge opportunity to get a big job at a furniture company. And my boss, I was working in the office, and he told me, I said, you know, do you think I could work in the sales department? And he said, oh no, women can't sell. And I said, oh, well, okay. There was the first little ding, you know, of many. But anyway, so I figured out one day when he accidentally let me sell when they were having a sale and it was a real busy day, that I could sell. So that was my first inclination, that I wanted to have a job that I could work on commission. But let me digress just for a minute, because when I told you that I didn't know anything, a lot of us are having that feeling, and we sort of fake it till we can make it. That's what we say in the real estate business. Somebody asks you a question, just try to backtrack till you can get the answer. But I'm going to give you a little quote from Albert Einstein, who is a really smart guy, or was. And here's what he said. We have to ask a lot of questions. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle requires creative imagination. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. If you take a close look at the most successful people in life, you'll find that their strength is not in having the right answers, but in asking the right questions. So, I had a really bad question today. I was like, what in the world am I going to wear? So that's what the first thing that happens with women. We have to worry about that. Now, didn't decide to come up here to talk about male bashing or anything, but I do have a little bit of penis envy. Because they get up and they, how many, there's like 4 of them in the room. I didn't count on any of them, so I was, y'all get to hear this, but don't tell it when you go out of the room. They go in their closet. Is it the khaki slacks or the navy slacks? Is it the navy blue blazer or not? We gotta look at, oh my Lord, is it the pantyhose or not? Is it the skirt? Is it the slacks? Is this gonna make me look fat? Is it not? Oh Lord, how's this gonna look in the picture? When I stand next to her, is she gonna have on a flower blouse or am I gonna have on one? So it's all of that. So that's one of the main penis envy parts, is the clothes issue. Then there's the hair. They get in the shower, wash it, get out. Is it parted on the left? Is it parted on the right? We got to blow dry, straighten, condition, hairspray, tease it, all that stuff. And all they got to do is part on the left and go. So that does cause us a little envy. But, in the end, we do look a lot better. But then the other day, I was in the doctor's office just waiting for my appointment, and I was nicely reading a magazine, just trying to, relax before you have to go to the doctor, so upsetting to go anyway. And there was a magazine in there, and it said, now, this was very hurtful. Do you have hag hair? I was like, what is that? So I read on a little bit. It's like a stray hair that comes in a very horrible place. And it just grows like down here somewhere. And it's like a hair that is like super duper hair that has never been known to man to grow anywhere on your body. And you didn't know you had one. And girls, this is why we have to stick together, because you have to tell the other lady if you see one. Seriously, you cannot let your friend go out with one of those. And they come overnight. You didn't have it yesterday, and today it's like 8 inches long. It's a different color from the rest of your other hair. It's like, if you have blonde hair, it's like black and horrible. But I didn't know it was called that, because that's a really awful name. But anyway. So men just shaved so they didn't know they had them. And it wouldn't even look that bad. And then I thought, oh my God, I was probably at some meeting with my partners, and they all went out later and said, did you see that thing? And Robin, you know who I'm talking about. They probably really made fun of it too. But anyway, so that's one of the reasons we have to be a little envious, but we have to ask the questions, because it's fine to ask questions and to continue to question all the time. So anyway, when I began to realize that the best way for myself to make as much progress in my career as I could would be to work on something that I could control, it was to make commissions. And that's what got me started in realizing that what's the most expensive thing I can sell? That would be times X. That would be real estate. So that's how I got into real estate. But I think that we have still so many mountains to climb. Because even as I was a full partner, I was called to a meeting one day. It was just a meeting with my partners, and it wasn't a planned meeting, so I didn't know what they were going to talk about. And one of my partners, who I'm no longer a partner with, said to me, we're going to give ourselves a raise. I was like, oh, yay, I like a raise. This is excellent. And he said, now me and him, we're going to get this much, but yours is going to be less. I said, seriously? And why would that be? And he said, well, honestly, a man said this to me, because mine and his time is more valuable than yours. So, and I say that to you because he honestly felt it. And so, I don't say that to shock you. I just say that that feeling is still there. And so, I tried not to be angry. I just got up and I said, you know, we're just going to pretend like this didn't happen. And I'm going to leave right now, and I'm going to call my lawyer first. And then and you two can talk about what you're going to do and say to my lawyer, or we can just pretend like this meeting never happened. And I just walked out. And of course, my other partner that I'm still partners with said, I'm so sorry, I didn't know he was going to say that. But the point is, I think that it's still in people's mind. We still are undervalued. And so it's in front of this group here, I want you to know that I don't care how high you go, we still have to understand one thing. The most common way, and this was a quote from Alice Walker, the author, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. So we have to remember that we have power, but we also have to remember that sometimes other people don't think we do. So you have to understand that in our work society, we deserve more than we get. And here's a good for instance. She told you about some of the awards that I've won. And I'm proud of some of those awards. The Athena Award, the Woman's Entrepreneur Award. Well, those are nice. But I don't really like those awards. And I'll tell you why. The day that I found out that someone came to see me and said, you know, you're going to be getting the Woman's Entrepreneur Award. It's very prestigious. And at first, my heart just sort of fluttered, and I was like, oh, that's nice. You know, I worked so hard, that's nice. And then I thought, well, hey, you know, how come I have to get the Woman's Award? How come I'm not just getting like the Business Award? How come I have to get the Woman's Award? How come there even is a Woman's Award? Is there like a Midget Award? Is there like a Dog Award? Is there like, you know, why are we categorized out? You know why? Because they had to give us something. They don't want to give us the real award, but they know we'll be mad if we don't get something. So I was talking to my daughter on the way over, and she's like, oh, God, Mom, don't say nothing. Don't embarrass us at the award. Please, God, don't do it. And I was like, because my poor daughter, she's had to live with me the whole time, you know. But my sons, they've been like, I've tried to bring up our sons, and that's another thing we have to do. We have to raise our sons and our children to understand that we are women, but we are people, and we are equal. And they have to understand it, and they will go out and they will spread the word for us. Somebody asked my husband one time, can't you control your wife? He looked at them, he said, like, can anybody? He was like surprised that anybody said it. But anyway, so I didn't say anything then, and it's been a long time ago. It was like 1989 or something, you know. But it's always, and I don't want to seem ungrateful. I was thankful that they gave it to me, really, you know. But that's old news. We need to, if I can't be considered for the Business Person of the Year award, then don't give me some mini award just to make me feel happy. I don't want it. And I don't want it for y'all. So you know, we need to do away with that stuff. I say that same thing for black people. Don't give me the Black Award a year. Give me the Person of the Year award. Do y'all want it? No, I don't think so. I think we should have, you know, this is the awards that we give and then people earn them. Because as long as we segregate out that stuff, then we'll never be able to be what we can be. So, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong because then maybe the women won't ever get any awards. So that'll be bad, and then I'll probably be ostracized for that. But having said that, that's kind of the way I feel, because I feel like I have earned my awards just the same as my partners and other people. And I think that we've just been shy to say it because we don't want to seem ungrateful, because women are so nice. And, you know, but I think about some of my friends. I know all of you remember Linda Lee Allen, one of my best friends. And she was the most feminine and wonderful woman, but she knew how to get with the men. She'd bake them a cake and then she'd take them to the wall. She'd come to a meeting and she'd have all kind of sweets and goodies. She was real good at baking. And then she'd tell them like it was. So she was able to mix femininity and, you know, business at the same time. And the men really respected her. So it's okay to be feminine. I think it's okay to be as feminine as you want to be and still be accepted in the business world. But it's a hard thing, because everybody knows if you're a little bit too bossy or a little bit too aggressive, then you're a bitch. And I've been accused of it many times. And, you know, you need to have two women in a group, because to be a witness to the fact that you'll say something like, hey, I know a good idea. Why don't we do so-and-so and so-and-so? And they won't even make a comment about it. 5 minutes later, Johnny Boy will say it, and they'll go like, yeah, that's a great idea. So, you know, you got to have support. And that's why I think groups like this are wonderful, because we've lost a little bit of ability to be together because of computers and Twitters and all this stuff. And everybody knows that seeing each other and touching each other, smelling each other, it's the animal instinct in us. And women are excellent at being together. Even as little girls, we're able to hold hands, we will dance, we will touch each other, we will be together. It's nothing, we don't even feel self-conscious about it all. A man can't even hardly, they just go all to pieces over it, you know. But so we can be a big support for each other. Can y'all do that? Now, look, that's so cute. And Michael, my two sons, they can get about 3 inches from each other, and about 2 inches they start fighting. So, but women can be together and get so much done. We are so able to be together. So we are, like you said, we can really be supportive of each other. So this is a kind of group that we need to have more of, and it's so humbling to me, and so I'm so appreciative to have been able to be here to speak to you, and I don't know if I've said anything worth listening to at all. But anyway, I just say to yourself, try to get up in the morning, look in the mirror, and say, I accept you for what you are, and today I'm going to do something great for myself. And I appreciate so much you let me come and speak to you. Thank you.